Welcome back, guys, to another episode of All Things Single Seater. We are here for the Azerbaijan Grand Prix review and our predictions for Canada. And I'm here with Jordan. How are we?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Yeah, good. Glad that we've got another double header. That'll be good.
Yeah.
I was a little bit bored by Baku, so I'm hoping that Canada's a lot better. What were your views?
I didn't really know what to expect. Obviously,
Hmm.
last year was just a crazy race. I don't think anyone saw, they didn't expect it. Um, this year it was a bit like, what's gonna happen? Like, I felt like it had quite a big build up.
Yeah.
And it was kind of like a Ferrari do well here, then they're gonna potentially have like a hot streak going into like the summer break. Um, And I was quite like hyped up about that. I was like, come on, Ferrari, like you've got to get your head in the game now. Um, and yeah, it wasn't the most thrilling race ever, but there was some surprising factors, I think.
Yeah. I think it's the second race this year that has screwed Checo over when there's been a VSC or a safety car. Um, Ferrari reliability, no one saw that coming. It's now swapped from the start of the season. And yeah, I don't know. I just think that after Charles retired, nothing was going to happen with the front two. So it's kind of just watching the midfield. And Russell kind of was cemented P3 as well. So it was kind of the battle for kind of fourth down, which was good. I thought there was a lot of heat with the McLaren drivers. Don't know if you agree. I think Lando was throwing his toys at his pram a little bit, if I'm being honest.
Um, it was kind of tit for tat. Um, Lando is younger, is probably a bit more impatient. Daniel, he's got patience, and he hasn't had the best season so far. So he's like, well, let me see what I can do type thing. Give me an opportunity. Um, but it turns out they agreed in the end.
Yeah.
They both said points were valuable for the team. Um, and Lando turned around and said if he wanted to be a rebel, he would have just overtook his teammate.
Yeah, I agree. I think McLaren could have got better points had they let Danny Rick through in the opening stint. Because if you look at it, he had
Yeah.
good pace on those hards, and so did the other hard runners that stayed out. And I just think that Alonso managed to undercut Norris by quite some margin, and that's the reason that they gave for keeping him out, like keeping them in front of each other, sort of thing, like keeping Lando in front. Um, yeah, I just think Danny Rick could have maybe got a couple places higher, maybe been fighting like Gasly sort of thing, Gasly and Vettel, but it wasn't to be.
Yeah, I think they just need to take it like how it comes at the
Yeah,
moment. They can't be too picky and can't dwell on it and that. They should be proud of their performance, like at the weekend. Yeah, qualifying wasn't the best. I expected at least one of them to get in the top 10. Um, but it, um, but they made overtakes, they got job done, scored points, that's it. They've now got to focus on Canada for this weekend.
yeah, yeah, that is very true. Speaking of Canada and Canadians, it's that time of the week, ladies and gentlemen. It's that time of the week. Lance Stroll, retire from Formula One, please. You are rubbish. What was that performance this weekend? He might as well have been driving an F2 car.
Um, I literally have no explanation. Like he ended up retiring anyway. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, he did.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
said that they saw something they weren't happy with. It's probably the driver.
Well, Seb stole the show once again. Um, he got some good points. I didn't expect
Yeah.
him to qualify in top 10.
No, and he could have got fourth if he didn't spin. What a
Yeah,
recovery. I mean,
I know. That spin was like 10-10.
yeah. And Stroll crashed twice.
Oh,
That was in quali, granted, but he still crashed twice. And that the crash in the one that actually retired him in quali was so bad. Like, it was so bad. Like, he made Latifi look like a world champion. He was that poor. Speaking of Latifi, I think he had a good race, and I'll get to that later. But Stroll's got to be doing better. He can't be that far off his teammate Latifi. Well, and Williams, but I actually felt sorry for Latifi because that penalty was not his fault, like at all. Well, no, was it? Because it was before the formation lap, and they had to wheel the car back, so technically he wouldn't have parked it there, would he? And surely they should have wheeled the car back before then.
They could have done it before, like, all team personnel
Yeah,
had to move off the grid. They're given a set time to move off the grid,
yeah,
um, and to not touch the cars.
yeah. So it wasn't Latifi's
Um,
fault, no.
that wasn't Latifi's
Yeah,
fault, but maybe a fine for the team probably would have been better.
yeah,
But giving a penalty to the driver when it wasn't his fault.
yeah. It's a bit harsh, and I worked it out as had he not got that penalty. I know it's with some buts, but had he not, he would have been ahead of Mick Schumacher. So he was in front of him when he served the pen. He qualified ahead. So I think it would have been a good race for Latifi where he wouldn't have been last and he's just been screwed over by the team. Obviously, a good race isn't not finishing last, but he seemed closer this weekend.
Does he though? Because his seat is in danger. Have you
Yeah,
seen what's been going around? Uh,
yeah.
all these times you've mentioned about the mid-season swap, it might be coming true.
I'm warming up to him now, and now it's going to happen.
Yeah, after you say, you know what, I actually feel sorry for him for once.
Don't get me wrong. I don't think
Um,
he's never going to set the world on fire, but I felt
yeah,
he
but
could have I felt he was unlucky this weekend.
yeah, no, I do agree with you, but it's a little bit too late now, isn't it? His
He
seat. Well,
is he is going to score points in Canada at his home Grand Prix. All right,
no,
you've heard it here
no,
first.
no,
Official, all things single seater.
no,
one
no.
half, one half of all things single seater thinks that the TV is going to get a point this weekend.
Well, from what I read, so obviously we're talking about Piastri coming into Latifi's seat halfway through, and it comes from a very strong source inside the paddock saying that Piastri has signed this contract already. He signed it in Monaco, so 2 weeks ago, um, and that it's meant to start from this week, I think.
It
It's
could
a
be
bit
true.
hard.
Could be true, but I don't think it is because he bought that team a lot of money and then they're going to sack him before his first ever home Grand Prix. Like,
But I feel like Piastri might have gave something away, not for Canada, but for Silverstone. So he put on his Instagram story today, might I add, um, 3 hours ago at Silverstone, driving here soon. Is that an FP1 appearance at the Grand Prix? Or
gotta be, surely.
or is he going into that Williams seat from Silverstone onwards? Oh, oh,
I'd say it's FP1, alright? But we've seen Stranger Things, haven't we? So that'll be
yeah.
that'll be
Well,
interesting. Speaking of Piastri then, Alpine in general. It's a pretty good weekend for them.
yeah. I don't think much complaints. Points, double points,
Double points, not
double
seventh,
points.
seventh and 10th.
10th. Yeah.
Yes, I've got it open. 7th and 10th. Yes, I'm correct. Like,
Wasn't they dropping back a little bit, or one of them was dropping back? Was it Alonso during the race?
Ocon, because he was on hards and did like a longer stint, I think. But no, Alonso was P7, Ocon P10. I mean, it was good. It was nice. I do think Alonso was a little bit naughty in qualifying. Um,
When isn't he naughty? He was driving slow
yeah,
again in the
yeah.
race.
I, he is. experienced enough to know not to be going that speed at that corner, and he ruined Albon's lap. There's no way about it. There's literally no defense for him. He didn't get a penalty, whatever, fine. It will probably happen again, and we'll be talking about it next week. But I mean, yeah, I thought he was lucky to get away without a pen. But no, it was a good double points finish for Alpine, who are doing quite well now, especially in the constructors, in the top 5, which is good.
Yeah.
Fighting McLaren and that sort of lot, really. Although I see McLaren losing it because I think they had a very strong start to the season that's better than their car. Don't know if you agree. Or does that hurt? Is that a bit harsh?
The first race you've just got was absolutely awful with McLaren.
Yeah.
Let's take that out of the equation. We'll start from race number 2. It's a bit of a tough one. Like, we expected them to do really well. We just expected Lando to absolutely fly. I think it's kind of Daniel letting down the team a little.
Maybe. Yeah, all right. Moving on. Haas. Talking of letting down the team. Speaking of letting down the team, Mick Schumacher. Again, I have no defence for you. What?
Didn't he finish? He did finish.
Yeah, last. Wait,
Well, at
no,
least
he
he
was
finished.
last. I swear he was last. Second last. Oh, Latifi, yeah, because of his pen. Fine.
He finished.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like part of it is like what is going on with him.
Yeah.
Then the other part is, well, it's now 2 race weekends in a row where he's missed out on a full free practice session because of problems with the car.
Yeah, that one wasn't him, to be fair.
Yeah.
But, I mean, K-Mag was looking at... I don't think he would have scored points, but at the time, he was looking like he was in contention for points.
Yeah.
And Mick was kind of nowhere, really. It's
I didn't really watch like his race. I was just like, oh, you're last.
It's almost like Mick, Lance, and Latifi are the 3 that you're pretty confident of not getting out of Q1 each week.
Yeah.
And to one extent, Danny Rick as well. Pardon?
Haas didn't qualify well at all.
No.
Even Magnussen, I was expecting him maybe Q2.
I think he probably would have. I think the crash in quali didn't help. But again, everyone has to be ready and everyone has to, go for it.
You've got to get in a good first lap.
Yeah.
Because that's the thing with Monaco and Baku. You know that these things can happen. Because it's a circuit which bites, and at any point it can just ruin like your lap.
And Canada.
Yeah, I thought I wouldn't mention that just yet,
It was disappointing for them. I think they've got to do well here because they started the season with probably the 4th fastest car and they've only got 15 points.
They've gone quite backwards.
Yeah.
Since I think Australia, isn't it? That was the last time they scored points.
No, they missed out in Australia. But
Did they?
Yeah. So it's not been great. I'd like to see them do well in Canada, but I don't really know. I mean, another team that kind of had a no-show was Alfa Romeo. They didn't really.
Yeah, well, Guan Yu Zhou retired again.
Yeah, that wasn't his fault. I feel sorry for him.
The thing is, it isn't his fault. When he retires in the pits, it isn't his fault. That's just a car. But that's twice now. 2 weekends in a row? Yeah.
Yeah.
But Bottas, he was, I think, a bit confused. Where has his pace gone? Like, he could have easily been top 10, but it was just, again, nowhere.
Yeah. Which, wasn't good. It wasn't good for them. But I think they'll be pretty good in Canada. I think that's going to be a bold claim, but I think their car's going to suit that track quite well. Mercedes, nice little podium for your main man.
It's just repping him. It's what happens,
He's just there. I saw you tag me in on Twitter as well.
Um, People saying, "Oh, it's all about luck." Part of it is yes. You never know what's going to happen. You never know who's going to retire. Um, you don't know going into the race. You do not have a clue.
No.
Um, but part of it is that George just drives. He's there. He's not making any mistakes. He hasn't made any mistakes at all this season, I don't think. And it's just like, well, you kind of need to put some respect
On
like
the
towards
name.
him.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, because what other driver has finished in the top five all races this season? None. He is the only one, and everyone's like, "Oh, like it's the wrong move for him to go to Mercedes."
It's definitely not.
Sorry, sorry.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like they had good pace. I think they could have had more pace if the proportion wasn't as bad as it was.
Mm.
Um, Lewis finished fourth, which is, I think he's no, he finished third.
Yeah.
Um,
A strong result for Lewis.
yeah, really strong. But it's just the proportion. Seeing Lewis not being able to get out of the car after the race, everyone was like, "Is he going to race this weekend?"
Well, is
Because,
he?
well, he said he is. He's had sessions with Angela
Mm.
after the race, and he said he's got a bit of bruising, a little bit of pain, but that's it. He's not been told to sit out. He's not been told to rest. Um, so yeah, as far as today goes, he's racing on Sunday.
Okay.
If the proportion is bad in Canada, Friday he could do like the whole day. Friday, Saturday we could see him sat out and not race.
Yeah. Okay.
It's kind of one of those things you don't really know, but Canada's quite a fast track compared to obviously Azerbaijan. So it might be completely different.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. It would be. Yeah, I want to see him in the car. I think he had a very good race. I
Yeah.
think he's understanding the car a lot better, which is good. And G Ross is just P4 in the standings.
Yeah, he's got,
Signs has got to do well to finish in the top four by the summer break.
well, George is now catching up to Charles.
Yes.
I think that is a big statement. Massive.
Uh, it is. Yeah, it is. But is like, do you reckon they could have been ahead of Ferrari at this point had Lewis been on form at the start of the year?
Um,
I know it's with some buts, but that's what we're here for.
yeah, but I think it's that fact of Lewis would be more battling George for like the podiums. Um, and then it's like it could be like a flashback to 2016 with Lewis and Nico
Yeah,
um type situation. Even though they wouldn't let it get that far again, um, they won't allow it. So it makes you think like, what if? I wouldn't say no.
mm.
I wouldn't be like, oh yes, 100%
Yeah,
Lewis would
definitely.
be ahead of George, which pushes Carlos down to sixth.
Yeah, it really does. Yeah, we need to speak about Carlos because I know he had a brake failure or hydraulics, whatever it was. He still wasn't keeping up at that point. He
No,
kind of binned his quali lap, fair enough. Like he's quick. We know he's quick. There's no question about that. But I think he's quicker on one lap pace,
yeah,
and
I
he just
agree.
slowly falls back, doesn't he?
Um, I said a few weeks ago it's going to get to that time where all he's going to be doing is helping for the constructors, and at this point he's not even helping with that.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
I know it was like a car issue this weekend. The
It's
fight
hard.
for the championship is at the moment between the two Red Bulls and Charles. And if Charles doesn't sort himself out, then it's just going to be between the Red Bulls.
Yeah, I don't think it will get to that point,
No, but
but it could, and I think Charles will still be in the title fight for a long time. I think Carlos will probably be out of it with about 8 or 9 races to go. Don't want to sound harsh, but I think Ferrari are going to have to start team playing very soon if they want to catch back up to Red Bull. I do think Ferrari are going to be on pace this weekend, though. I think the track is
no.
going to suit them more than Red Bull.
Last time we was here, 2019, Charles done quite well, I think.
Seb got the win taken off him.
Yes, that was the
Um,
historic move in the
yeah, and Charles was third. So I mean,
yeah,
I do. I think it's going to suit Ferrari better because I don't. There aren't as many. Granted, there is that really long straight, but I do think that the first and second sector are really going to suit Ferrari, and then Red
yeah.
Bull will kind of have it in the final for that straight. But it's going to be close. It is going to be really close.
He was third in 2018.
Max,
Yeah.
okay, that's
But
fair
not
enough.
bad, but
Yeah,
I don't think he's won it, has he? No, he didn't win 2017, 2016. No, I don't think he's won
no,
Canadian Grand Prix.
no, he's
He
not.
hasn't.
He's not.
Um,
But I do. I don't think he's going to win this weekend either.
um,
You predicted him to win, haven't you?
oh, um, you know what? Thing is, you can't help but put the Red Bulls to win at the moment because they're on that form of
Yeah,
how many times they won in a row now? Five, six,
a lot.
and yeah.
Yeah,
Um, I do think it will either be Verstappen or Perez. I think at the moment they've got the perfect car. At the beginning of the season, they didn't. That was
no.
really hard. Reliability this, reliability that.
Yeah,
They
we were
don't.
quite mean.
Um, but now it's kind of switched, like we said earlier, that
Mm.
Ferrari are at this moment in time the weak link. Um, they just need a good race, and hopefully it'll come this weekend.
Yeah, I, I don't know if it's just because I'm optimistic for Ferrari, but okay.
I
Should
think
we?
it'll be close. I
Yeah,
think it will be really close. I think we'll have like an action-packed race for
yeah.
once. Um, but I think it'll be a bit like them playing chicken with DRS.
Oh, that's going to be
That
interesting.
type of chaotic race. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. That would be interesting. Right. Give me your quali then.
So I've put Leclerc for pole.
Shock.
He's just on form at the minute.
Yeah, I got to stick with the stats.
Um, Verstappen second,
Okay.
Perez third.
Okay.
Why'd you give me that
I
look?
know. I thought I was going to yawn there, but I did.
Sainz fourth and Russell fifth.
That's yeah. That's pretty good to be fair.
Thank
I'm
you.
gonna. I'm gonna go. Leclerc, Sainz, Max, Perez, Hamilton.
Oh, oh.
Hmm. He's very good at the track. He loves the track.
I think it'll be close.
Yeah.
Um, I can't remember how Sainz does around this track. I don't think it's very well.
Um. No, he had a big crash in 2017, I think, and he took out Massa. I think that was. I'm pretty convinced that was Carlos Sainz at turn 3. YouTube it later.
Hmm.
There's like a T-bone going into the corner. I'm pretty convinced that was Carlos.
9th in 2016.
Okay.
We're on 2017.
He did retire. He retired in 2017. I think I'm
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
Yeah.
Massa also did. Verstappen did. Alonso did. Oh my God.
A lot of people. I do think we're doing a little bit of injustice to Sainz, actually. Looking at his stats from this year, he's only not finished on the podium in one race that he's finished, and that was P4.
Yeah, but
He's still pretty shit, isn't he? At times, like he has been pretty off the pace, hasn't he?
he has done a lot of mistakes. We got a
Race.
bit sidetracked then.
We did, yeah,
Right.
ranting about Ferrari. Okay, so yeah, race. Oh, before we do that, we should have done that first. We should have done this first. Montreal weather.
Oh, I
Oh,
checked earlier
it's
and it said
dry.
raining.
Wait, what? Mine
Yeah.
says dry. Mine
No, I checked this morning
Oh,
and then now it's changed, but quite unpredictable.
yeah. So we got rain on Friday and Monday.
See,
Dry
when I looked
Saturday.
earlier, it said rain Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Oh,
So we're only on Monday at the moment. So
it's gonna change a lot, isn't it? Okay, give me your top five for the race then.
so Verstappen,
Okay.
Leclerc, Perez, Hamilton, Russell.
Where's Carlos gone?
I don't think he's gonna make the end.
Do you not?
No.
Oh,
I,
okay.
well, I think either DNF or that the strategy will just go wrong for him and he'll be like just inside top 10 or just out. It's just
Okay.
going to go wrong. I have a
Okay.
feeling.
Okay. I see it. Wow, mine's gonna be different to yours then. I'm gonna say it's gonna be Charles, Carlos, Max, Sergio, Lewis. I actually think it's gonna be the same as my quali.
They're the same.
I know. I think it's gonna happen though. I don't know what it is. I just watch me be wrong, and everyone's gonna be like, "Jack, you share these." But I don't know why. I just think Ferrari, they're that good at quali, right? Sainz is gonna be wanting a bit. He's gonna want to recover quickly because Monaco he did great. Shit at Baku, but he's got a week now, and then he can kind of set it right. So Charles is rapid, and we know that. And Canada isn't a massively easy track to overtake on, and I don't know. I just think the Ferrari could hold a 1-2 there if their pace is that good, and I think their car is suited to the track,
Yeah, but
or will be
you've got
suited.
Max, who
Hmm.
is he doesn't care really. He'll
Yeah.
just try and overtake anywhere. And then you've got Sergio, who has just signed a new contract, has won, and his team just got 1-2. He's living life right now.
He is. All I'm
He's on
thinking,
I feel like he's on another level, and
right, is I remember the first couple of episodes of me and you, and we were predicting Ferrari a lot, and we were like ripping it into Red Bull, and we didn't really think that they were going to get their act together, and they have. But I do also think Ferrari have just had a blip. I don't think this is going to be a full season thing. I think it is just a little blip that they've had.
but you say it's a blip, but it's affected their customer teams.
I was hoping you wouldn't bring that up. That's true, but we have to have
But
faith.
it's like the same as Red Bull. AlphaTauri had problems.
Yeah, but that is it for this week, guys. Thank you for watching. Put your predictions in the comments below. I'm pretty sure they won't be as bad as mine. And yeah, we will see you all next week to discuss the Canadian Grand Prix.